There's a secret to solving your biggest problems, one that might surprise you. It's not about working harder, praying longer, or figuring it all out by yourself. In fact, the answer lies outside of you. It involves shifting your focus from your problems to the needs of others. Sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? When everything in your life feels like it's crumbling, the last thing on your mind is how you can help someone else. But what if I told you that this is exactly what you need to do to unlock the solutions you've been searching for? Throughout history, some of the most successful people discovered this principle. When you take your hands off your problem and invest your energy into helping others, you set the stage for your own breakthrough. What you give to others comes back to you multiplied, often in ways you never expected. In this audiobook, I'm going to take you on a journey that challenges conventional wisdom about solving problems. We're going to explore how focusing on others can trigger blessings in your own life, and why you don't always need to fix things yourself for things to fall into place. I'll share real-life stories, insights, and timeless wisdom that reveal the hidden power of helping others, even in your darkest moments. You see, the secret isn't just in working hard, it's in working wisely, with your heart aligned to something bigger than yourself. It's about giving, serving, and releasing control, trusting that as you pour into others, the universe, or God, or however you define that higher force, will pour back into you in abundance. Are you ready to discover the secret that could change your life? Let's begin. Most of us have been taught that when we face a problem, the best way to solve it is by focusing on it directly. Whether it's a financial issue, a relationship challenge, or something more personal, our instinct is to zero in on the problem, analyze it from every angle, and work relentlessly toward a solution. This approach often works for smaller, everyday problems, but when it comes to bigger, more complex issues, many people find themselves stuck in a cycle of frustration and helplessness. The more they focus on their problem, the less progress they seem to make. The reason for this is simple. The conventional method of problem solving can trap us in a mindset where all we see is the problem. We get caught in a loop of thinking, worrying, and stressing, which only deepens the sense of being overwhelmed. The harder we push, the more elusive the solution becomes. This is because our focus narrows down so much that it becomes impossible to see alternative routes to solving the issue. But what if there was another way? What if the key to solving your own problems wasn't in working harder on them, but in helping someone else with theirs? This might seem counterintuitive, but it's a concept rooted in ancient wisdom and backed by modern examples. By shifting your focus away from your own struggles and pouring your energy into helping others, you create space for your own solutions to emerge. Think of it this way. When you're consumed by your own challenges, it's as if you're trapped in a dark room. Your field of vision is limited, and all you can see are the walls that surround you. But when you step outside of yourself, when you offer help to others, you open a door and let light into that dark room. Suddenly, you're not as trapped as you thought. You start to see paths and possibilities that weren't visible before. There are countless stories of people who found the answers to their own problems by helping others. For example, a business owner who was struggling to keep their company afloat decided to volunteer their time to help a local charity with fundraising. Not only did this shift in focus relieve their stress, but it also sparked new ideas for their own business, which eventually led to a breakthrough. The act of helping others put them in a state of flow and opened their mind to new possibilities that had previously been obscured by worry. Helping others also taps into a deeper, universal truth. We are all connected. When you make a positive impact on someone else's life, you create a ripple effect that eventually comes back to you. It's the law of reciprocity, a fundamental principle that governs much of how the world works. By putting good out into the world, you set the stage for good to come back into your life, often in ways that you never expected. This is not just about random acts of kindness, though those are important. It's about deliberately focusing on solving someone else's problem, even when you're in the midst of your own. By doing this, you create a shift in your energy. You move from a place of lack and desperation to a place of abundance and service. And when you approach life from a position of service, the universe responds in kind. This book is about showing you a new approach to problem solving, one that has the potential to change not just the way you solve problems, but the way you live your life. Through personal stories, practical examples, and actionable steps, you'll learn how to take your focus off your own challenges and use your energy to uplift others, creating a powerful shift that will ultimately bring solutions to your own life. The law of reciprocity is simple yet profound. What you give to others will eventually come back to you. This isn't just a feel-good idea, it's a universal principle that has been observed in cultures and philosophies throughout history. Whether it's in business, relationships, or personal growth, those who give without expecting anything in return often find themselves receiving more than they ever anticipated. The idea of reciprocity is deeply embedded in human nature. When someone does something kind for us, we feel a natural inclination to return the favor. But the beauty of this law is that the return often doesn't come from the person you helped. It can come from any source. The universe has a way of balancing the scales, ensuring that your good deeds are rewarded, sometimes in the most unexpected ways. Consider the story of a woman who was struggling financially. She had lost her job, was behind on rent, and didn't know how she was going to make ends meet. Despite her circumstances, she decided to volunteer at a local food bank. She spent her time helping others who were in even more difficult situations than her own. A few weeks into her volunteer work, she was offered a job at the very organization she had been helping, a job that paid more than her previous position. By focusing on helping others, she inadvertently created the opportunity she needed to solve her own problem. This is the law of reciprocity in action. When you help others, the universe takes note. It may not always happen immediately, but eventually, what you give will come back to you. The key is to give without attachment to the outcome. If you help someone with the expectation that they will return the favor, you limit the flow of reciprocity. But when you give freely, trusting that the universe will provide, you open yourself up to receiving in ways that you never imagined. It's important to note that this doesn't mean you should ignore your own problems. Helping others isn't about avoiding your own responsibilities. It's about creating balance. When you're stuck in a situation and you can't seem to find a way out, shifting your focus to helping someone else can be the very thing that unlocks the solution you're looking for. It might seem counterintuitive at first, but it works because it breaks the cycle of negative thinking and opens up new possibilities. When you give to others, you also change your own state of mind. Instead of feeling powerless or trapped, you step into a position of strength. You become someone who can make a difference, even if you're struggling yourself. This shift in perspective is powerful. It allows you to see your own problems in a new light, and often, the very act of helping others sparks the inspiration you need to solve your own issues. The law of reciprocity is not a quick fix, but it is a powerful tool for creating lasting change. The more you give, the more you receive, not just in material terms, but in wisdom, clarity, and emotional fulfillment. As you continue to give, you'll find that the universe has a way of aligning things in your favor, often when you least expect it. One of the main reasons people struggle to solve their own problems is that they're too close to them. When you're deeply immersed in a situation, it can be difficult to see the bigger picture. Your perspective becomes limited, and all you can focus on are the immediate challenges in front of you. This narrow focus makes it nearly impossible to see alternative solutions or opportunities that may be just outside your field of vision. This is where helping others can make a huge difference. When you step outside of your own situation and focus on someone else's needs, you automatically gain a new perspective. It's like zooming out on a map. You suddenly see things that weren't visible when you were too close. You begin to notice patterns, connections, and solutions that were hidden before. Helping others forces you to shift your focus. Instead of being consumed by your own problems, you're now thinking about how to solve someone else's issue. This shift in focus brings clarity because it allows you to break free from the tunnel vision that often accompanies personal challenges. It also gives your mind a break from constantly worrying about your own situation, which can lead to creative solutions and new insights. For example, a man who was struggling with his business decided to mentor a younger entrepreneur. In the process of helping his mentee, he gained new insights into his own business challenges. The questions and advice he gave to the younger entrepreneur triggered ideas that he had never considered before. By helping someone else, he was able to step back and see his own situation from a fresh perspective. This change in perspective is one of the most valuable gifts that helping others can give you. When you're stuck in your own problems, it's easy to feel like there's no way out. But when you step into someone else's world and focus on their needs, you start to see things differently. You gain a broader view, which often leads to breakthroughs in your own life. In many spiritual traditions and philosophies, helping others is not just an act of kindness, it's an act of faith. When you take your focus off your own problems and invest your energy into someone else's well-being, you're showing faith that your needs will be met, even if you're not actively working on them. This act of trust goes beyond practical logic. It speaks to a deeper belief in the interconnectedness of all things and the idea that when you give, the universe gives back to you. Faith, in this context, is the ability to step outside of yourself and trust that everything will work out, even when the circumstances seem uncertain. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that unless you're constantly working on your own issues, nothing will change. But by helping others, you show that you trust a larger process is at work. You demonstrate faith in a higher power, the universe, or simply the belief that what you put out into the world comes back to you. Throughout history, religious and philosophical teachings have reinforced the importance of helping others. For example, in Christianity, the Bible teaches that serving others is one of the greatest acts of faith. Jesus himself was known for his selflessness and encouraged his followers to love thy neighbor as thyself. This concept can be found across many other traditions as well. In Buddhism, the idea of compassion and selflessness is central to attaining enlightenment. In the philosophy of Stoicism, helping others is seen as a way to contribute to the greater good, which ultimately benefits everyone. But beyond the teachings, there are countless real-life examples where acts of faith in serving others led to incredible breakthroughs. Take the story of a woman who was deeply in debt and struggling to make ends meet. Despite her financial situation, she decided to start volunteering at a local shelter, helping others who were even less fortunate than she was. This act of giving her time and energy to others was an expression of faith, believing that her own needs would somehow be met. Within months, she received an unexpected job offer that not only paid well, but also aligned with her passion for helping others. Helping others as a form of faith is about releasing control and trusting that there is a larger plan at work. It's about believing that when you contribute to someone else's success, happiness, or well-being, you are also sowing seeds that will grow into blessings in your own life. This might not always happen immediately, but over time, you will start to notice how the universe responds to your selflessness. It's also important to remember that faith without action is empty. You can have faith that your problems will be solved, but it's through action, particularly the action of helping others, that you demonstrate that faith. This action creates a ripple effect. Your willingness to help others not only benefits them, but also sends a message to the universe that you are ready to receive help yourself. The more you give, the more you open yourself up to receiving. Faith, therefore, is not just a belief in something unseen. It is a way of living that involves stepping outside of your own needs and trusting that as you help others, the answers to your problems will reveal themselves. Sometimes, we become so consumed by our own challenges that we fail to see the needs of those around us. However, when we take a step back and observe, we often find that there are people in our immediate circle, family, friends, colleagues, who are struggling with their own problems. By tuning into the needs of others, even when you're facing difficulties, you can begin the process of helping, which in turn helps you. The first step in identifying the needs around you is to develop an awareness of the people in your life. Pay attention to their words, actions, and body language. Often, people won't directly ask for help, but they'll give subtle signs that something isn't right. Maybe a friend who used to be outgoing has become withdrawn, or a colleague seems unusually stressed. These are often indicators that they're dealing with something that could use your attention. Listening is a powerful tool in identifying needs. Sometimes people simply need someone to listen to their concerns without judgment or advice. By being that person, you create a space for them to unload their worries, and in turn, you'll often find that you gain new insights into your own challenges. Listening deeply also allows you to pick up on the underlying issues that may not be immediately obvious. Another key aspect of identifying the needs around you is empathy. Empathy is the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes, to see the world from their perspective. When you're able to do this, you not only recognize their struggles more clearly, but you also connect with them on a deeper level. This connection opens the door to helping them in meaningful ways. It's important to remember that helping others doesn't always have to be a grand gesture. Sometimes the smallest acts of kindness, like offering a word of encouragement, giving advice, or helping with a task, can make the biggest difference. You don't need to have all the answers or fix their problems completely. Often, just showing that you care and are willing to help is enough to lighten their load. When you start looking for the needs around you, you'll notice how many opportunities there are to make a difference. Whether it's offering a hand to a neighbor in need, volunteering for a local organization, or simply being a shoulder to lean on for a friend, these acts of service shift your focus away from your own struggles and onto something greater. In doing so, you may find that the very solutions you were seeking for your own problems come to you naturally. Finally, remember that showing empathy and offering support doesn't mean you're ignoring your own challenges. On the contrary, it helps you to step out of the narrow focus on your problems and opens you up to new perspectives and possibilities. By helping others, you gain strength, resilience, and clarity, all of which will ultimately help you with your own issues. Helping others is like planting seeds in a garden. You may not see immediate results, but with time and care, those seeds grow into something beautiful. In the same way, the good deeds you do for others, whether large or small, are like seeds that eventually bring unexpected blessings back into your life. The concept of sowing and reaping is one that's found in many spiritual and philosophical traditions. It's the idea that whatever you put out into the world, whether positive or negative, will come back to you multiplied. When you sow seeds of kindness, generosity, and compassion, you create a fertile environment for blessings to grow in your life. Sowing seeds doesn't have to be a grand act of charity. Every time you offer a kind word, lend a helping hand, or go out of your way to make someone's life easier, you're planting seeds that will eventually bear fruit. These acts of service not only help others, but they also create a sense of abundance in your own life. The more you give, the more you open yourself up to receiving. There are countless stories of people who sowed seeds by helping others, only to receive blessings far greater than they ever imagined. For example, a man who was struggling in his career decided to mentor a younger colleague who was just starting out. He spent time teaching him the ins and outs of the business, offering guidance and support. A few years later, when the man was facing financial difficulties, his former mentee, now successful and influential, offered him a lucrative business opportunity that turned his life around. This is the power of sowing seeds. You never know where the harvest will come from, but you can trust that the seeds you plant today will grow into something beautiful in the future. The key is to give freely, without expecting anything in return. When you help others with a genuine heart, the universe responds by bringing blessings into your life in ways you could never predict. Sowing seeds also creates a ripple effect. When you help someone, you inspire them to help others, and the cycle of kindness continues. This ripple effect not only improves the lives of those around you, but it also lifts you up. The more you give, the more connected you become to the flow of abundance in the universe. And as you continue to sow seeds of kindness, generosity, and compassion, you'll find that the universe has a way of returning those blessings to you tenfold. Many of us have a tendency to obsess over our own problems, constantly thinking about solutions, ways to fix things, and how to make everything right. This can be an exhausting cycle that often leads to frustration and anxiety, especially when the situation doesn't seem to improve despite our best efforts. However, one of the most counterintuitive yet powerful approaches to solving your own problems is learning to release control over them. When you stop obsessing over fixing your own situation, something extraordinary happens. You make space for new possibilities. This concept is often summed up in the phrase, "Let go and let God." It's a reminder that we don't have to carry the burden of solving every problem on our own. When we release control, we give the universe, or a higher power, room to step in and work in ways we couldn't have anticipated. Helping others is one of the most effective ways to release control over your own problems. When you focus on someone else's needs, you shift your attention away from your own struggles. This act of selflessness not only provides relief from the mental and emotional strain of your problems, but also demonstrates a deep trust that things will work out, even without your constant intervention. There are countless stories of people who experienced breakthroughs in their own lives simply by letting go and focusing on helping others. One powerful example is the story of a man who had been unemployed for over a year. He had tried everything, sending out resumes, networking, applying for jobs, but nothing seemed to work. Frustrated and feeling hopeless, he decided to start volunteering at a local food bank. As he served others, he felt a sense of peace and purpose, even though his personal situation hadn't changed. After several months of volunteering, something remarkable happened. While working at the food bank one day, he struck up a conversation with another volunteer who happened to know of a job opening in the man's field. The connection led to an interview and eventually a job offer. The breakthrough came not from tirelessly trying to solve his own problem, but from letting go and helping others. This story is a testament to the power of releasing control. When you stop fixating on how to solve your own problems and instead turn your energy toward helping others, you open yourself up to unexpected solutions and opportunities. The universe has a way of rewarding selflessness by delivering blessings when you least expect them. Another key aspect of releasing control is trusting the process. This means having faith that even when things seem uncertain, everything is unfolding as it should. Often, our impatience and desire to control outcomes can block the flow of progress. But when we step back and allow life to take its course, we often find that solutions arise in ways we never imagined. Helping others is a form of surrender. It's an acknowledgement that while we can't control everything, we can still make a positive impact in the world. And in doing so, we invite positive energy into our own lives. As you continue to serve others and release the need to control your own situation, you'll find that the weight of your problems starts to lift. Breakthroughs may come in unexpected ways, but they will come. There's a universal truth that runs through nearly every spiritual and philosophical tradition. Giving is not just a kind act, but a powerful force for good. When you give your time, energy, or resources to others, you not only help those in need, but you also open the door to receiving blessings in return. This might seem counterintuitive, especially in a world that often emphasizes taking and accumulating, but the secret to abundance lies in giving. One of the most immediate benefits of giving is how it improves your own well-being. Scientific studies have shown that acts of generosity can boost mental health, increase feelings of happiness, and even reduce stress. When we give, our brain releases chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin, which promote feelings of pleasure and connection. This is why people often talk about the helper's high, the rush of joy and fulfillment that comes from being kind and generous. But beyond the science, there's a deeper, almost mystical quality to giving. When you give freely, without expecting anything in return, you create a flow of energy that invites abundance into your life. It's as if by giving to others, you signal to the universe that you are open to receiving as well. The more you give, the more you make space for blessings to come your way. There are countless real-life examples of how giving has transformed lives in remarkable ways. Consider the story of a woman who, despite struggling financially, decided to sponsor a child in need through a charity program. Every month, she sent a small donation to help support the child's education and well-being. Though it was a sacrifice, she felt good knowing she was making a difference in someone's life. A few years later, the woman's financial situation dramatically improved. She received an unexpected inheritance from a distant relative, which not only relieved her of financial stress, but allowed her to live comfortably. She couldn't help but think that her act of giving had set this blessing in motion. The abundance she received far outweighed the small amount she had given each month, proving the old adage that you can't outgive the universe. The power of giving also extends to less tangible resources like time, attention, and kindness. You don't have to be wealthy to give. Everyone has something to offer. Whether it's offering a listening ear, lending a hand to a friend in need, or simply showing kindness to a stranger. These small acts of generosity create ripples that can lead to profound changes in both your life and the lives of others. When you give, you step into a flow of abundance that surpasses material wealth. It's about more than just receiving money or resources. It's about creating a life rich in joy, connection, and fulfillment. The more you give, the more you align yourself with the natural laws of the universe, where generosity begets generosity. So, the next time you feel stuck or overwhelmed by your own problems, consider giving. Whether it's donating to a cause you believe in, volunteering your time, or simply being there for someone who needs support, your act of generosity will not only benefit others, but also pave the way for unexpected blessings in your own life. One of the biggest obstacles to solving problems, whether they're personal or professional, is self-centered thinking. When we're stuck in our own heads, focused only on our own needs and challenges, we often miss out on the solutions and opportunities that lie just beyond our narrow focus. Self-centeredness traps us in cycles of frustration, making problems seem larger and more insurmountable than they really are. The truth is, when we focus solely on ourselves, our perspective becomes limited. We lose sight of the bigger picture and become blind to the resources, support, and opportunities that are available to us. This self-centered thinking can lead to feelings of isolation, as if we're the only ones dealing with challenges, and it often prevents us from seeing how helping others can also help us. Breaking free from this mindset requires a conscious shift in focus, from inward to outward. One of the most effective strategies for overcoming self-centered thinking is to start looking for ways to serve others. When you focus on helping someone else, you naturally broaden your perspective. You begin to see the world through a different lens, one that is not limited by your own concerns and worries. This outward focus not only alleviates the pressure of your own problems, but also creates a ripple effect of positive energy. When you help others, you contribute to an environment of support and goodwill, and this energy often comes back to you in unexpected ways. It's as if by focusing on others, you unlock the potential for your own breakthroughs. Shifting your focus from yourself to others can be as simple as performing small acts of kindness. It doesn't take much to start this process. Helping a colleague with a project, listening to a friend who's going through a tough time, or offering to run an errand for a neighbor. These small gestures might seem insignificant, but they have a profound impact on both the recipient and the giver. When you make a habit of focusing on others, you start to realize that your problems are not as overwhelming as they seemed. The act of giving shifts your energy from lack to abundance, from frustration to fulfillment. And in the process, you gain new insights, clarity, and perspective that can help you solve your own challenges. One of the most challenging times to help others is when you feel helpless yourself. When you're emotionally, mentally, or physically drained, the last thing you may feel capable of is offering assistance to someone else. Yet, paradoxically, it's often in these moments of personal struggle that helping others can bring the most profound sense of relief and even lead to breakthroughs in your own life. When you're overwhelmed by your own challenges, it's easy to become inwardly focused. You may feel like you don't have the energy or capacity to give anything more. But here's the remarkable thing. Helping others doesn't deplete your energy, it replenishes it. This is because serving others takes the focus off your personal struggles and shifts your energy towards something bigger than yourself. It creates a sense of purpose and connection that fuels resilience. The paradox of finding strength in service when you feel weak lies in the way the act of giving generates its own momentum. When you extend a hand to someone else, even in your weakest moments, you tap into a flow of energy that transcends your immediate circumstances. It's as if by helping others, you unlock a wellspring of strength you didn't know you had. This strength comes not from you alone, but from the larger, interconnected fabric of humanity. It's a shared energy that nourishes everyone involved. Consider the story of a single mother who was struggling to make ends meet after losing her job. She was exhausted, both physically and emotionally, and felt like she had nothing left to give. But one day, while at her lowest point, she noticed her elderly neighbor struggling to carry groceries. Despite her own challenges, she offered to help. Over time, she began assisting her neighbor with small tasks, like running errands and tidying up. Little did she know, her neighbor's son worked for a company that was hiring. Her simple act of kindness eventually led to a job offer, pulling her out of her financial despair. This story highlights an important truth. Even when you feel drained, you still have the capacity to help someone else. And often, it's in these acts of service that solutions to your own problems begin to materialize. When you help others, you're not just offering them relief, you're also creating an opportunity for the universe to work on your behalf. Another aspect of helping others when you feel helpless is the emotional release it provides. When you focus solely on your problems, The weight of those issues can feel unbearable. But when you shift your focus to someone else's needs, you temporarily step out of your own pain and gain perspective. This break from self-absorption allows your mind to relax, which can lead to fresh insights and solutions you hadn't considered before. Testimonies abound from people who found solace in helping others during their most difficult times. One powerful example is the story of a man who, after losing his wife to illness, fell into a deep depression. Feeling helpless and alone, he joined a grief support group where he not only received support but also began offering comfort to others who were struggling with similar losses. As he listened to their stories and offered encouragement, he found that his own grief began to lift. The act of helping others helped him heal in ways that nothing else could. This paradoxical truth, that you can find strength in serving when you feel weak, reminds us that we are never truly powerless. No matter how dire your situation may seem, there is always something you can do for someone else. And in doing so, you may find that the very act of helping is what brings healing and resolution to your own struggles. In the midst of life's challenges, it's natural to question your purpose. Why is this happening to me? What is the meaning behind my struggles? These are questions we all ask when faced with adversity. But what if the answer to these questions lies not in solving your problems, but in how you respond to them, specifically in how you use your challenges to serve others? Helping others in times of struggle gives your life greater meaning and purpose. It transforms your hardships into something meaningful, something that can make a difference in the lives of others. When you take what you've learned from your personal battles and use it to support someone else, you turn pain into purpose. One of the most powerful examples of this is seen in the lives of people who have faced tremendous adversity and gone on to dedicate their lives to serving others. Consider the story of a woman who survived cancer. After her recovery, she made it her mission to support other cancer patients by starting a non-profit that provides emotional and financial assistance to those undergoing treatment. Her personal battle with cancer equipped her with the empathy and knowledge to serve others more powerfully. She found purpose in her pain, and in doing so, she gave her life new meaning. Finding purpose through service doesn't necessarily mean starting a non-profit or making grand gestures. It can be as simple as using your experiences to offer comfort, guidance, or a helping hand to someone who is going through something similar. When you realize that your struggles can be a source of strength for someone else, your perspective shifts. Instead of seeing your challenges as obstacles, you begin to see them as opportunities to grow and make a difference. This shift in perspective is powerful. It allows you to rise above your circumstances and connect with a higher purpose. Suddenly, your problems aren't just about you. They're part of a larger narrative of growth, resilience, and connection. And it's in this realization that you find peace and fulfillment, even in the midst of difficulty. Inspirational stories abound of people who have found purpose in adversity. One such story is that of a man who, after losing his job during an economic downturn, decided to volunteer at a local shelter. What started as a way to fill his time turned into a passion for helping the homeless. Eventually, he founded a job placement program for shelter residents, helping them find employment and regain their independence. Through his service, he discovered a new purpose that not only transformed his life, but also had a lasting impact on his community. When you align your life with the needs of others, you open the door to a deeper sense of purpose. Your challenges no longer feel like random events or meaningless struggles. They become part of a greater story of service, compassion, and growth. And in serving others, you may find that the answers you were searching for, the meaning behind your struggles, reveal themselves. One of the most profound realizations you can have on the path to solving your problems is that your desires and the needs of others are not mutually exclusive. In fact, aligning your personal goals with a higher purpose, one that involves helping others, can accelerate your growth and bring solutions faster than you ever imagined. When you help others, you tap into a flow of universal energy that connects all living beings. This energy is abundant and constantly circulating, and when you contribute to it through acts of service, it has a way of returning to you in the form of opportunities, insights, and breakthroughs. The key is to align your desires with the greater good, so that your personal growth is tied to the well-being of others. This alignment doesn't mean sacrificing your goals or putting your dreams on hold to help others. Instead, it's about finding a balance between pursuing your personal ambitions and serving the needs of those around you. When your actions are motivated by a desire to make a positive impact, you'll find that your own desires are fulfilled in the process. Take, for example, the story of an entrepreneur who was struggling to get his business off the ground. He had a vision for creating a product that would solve a common problem, but he was hitting roadblocks at every turn. Frustrated and close to giving up, he decided to shift his focus. Instead of solely focusing on how to make his business profitable, he started asking how his product could genuinely help people. This simple shift in perspective changed everything. As he aligned his business goals with the needs of his customers, opportunities began to appear, and his business flourished. The lesson here is that when you align your desires with the needs of others, you tap into a powerful flow of energy that can bring solutions to both your problems and the problems of those around you. It's a win-win situation. You grow, and the people you serve grow as well. Service also has a way of accelerating personal growth. When you're focused on helping others, you become more attuned to their needs, which often mirrors your own in unexpected ways. The act of serving others brings clarity to your own path, revealing solutions that may have been hidden from view when you were solely focused on yourself. So, the next time you find yourself facing a challenge, ask yourself, how can I align my desires with the needs of others? How can I use my talents, resources, or experiences to make a positive impact? As you begin to answer these questions, you'll find that the solutions to your own problems start to emerge organically as part of a greater purpose. One of the most transformative shifts you can make in life is to move from seeing service as a one-time act to making it a daily practice. When helping others becomes a lifestyle, you tap into a continual flow of positive energy that not only benefits those around you, but also brings unexpected solutions to your own challenges. This shift from occasional acts of kindness to consistent service opens doors that might otherwise remain closed. Making service a regular part of your life begins with a mindset shift. Instead of viewing service as something you do when you have extra time or resources, it becomes part of your daily routine, integrated into the fabric of your life. The beauty of a lifestyle of service is that it doesn't require grand gestures. Small, consistent acts of kindness and support can be just as powerful as larger ones. For example, taking the time to listen to a friend in need, offering encouragement to a colleague, or even something as simple as holding the door for someone with a smile can create ripples of positive energy. The first step to creating a lifestyle of service is to look for opportunities in your everyday environment. Instead of waiting for a crisis or a major problem to arise before stepping in to help, start noticing the small needs around you. Maybe it's a neighbor who could use a hand with groceries, or a co-worker who's having a tough day. Perhaps it's someone in your community who could benefit from a few words of encouragement. These seemingly minor acts build the foundation for a life of service. Strategies to integrate helping others into your routine can vary depending on your personal circumstances, but one approach is to set aside specific times for acts of service. Just as you would schedule time for work or self-care, you can schedule time for helping others. This might involve volunteering for a local charity once a week, offering mentorship to someone in need, or even making a habit of checking in on friends and family regularly. Another approach is to make service a natural extension of your daily tasks. If you're heading to the grocery store, why not pick up a few extra items for someone who might be struggling? If you're good at a particular skill, consider offering it to someone who could benefit from it. The key is to look at service not as an obligation, but as an opportunity to make a positive impact with the resources and abilities you already have. Sustaining a lifestyle of giving, especially when personal challenges arise, can be difficult. There will be times when you feel stretched thin, when your own problems seem overwhelming, and the idea of helping someone else feels impossible. Yet, these are often the moments when service is most transformative. When you give from a place of personal struggle, you tap into a deeper well of empathy and compassion. You begin to understand that your ability to help others isn't contingent on having everything in your own life perfectly sorted out. One way to sustain a lifestyle of giving during challenging times is to focus on small, manageable acts of service. When life feels overwhelming, you don't have to take on big projects or solve other people's major problems. Instead, focus on what you can do. Maybe it's sending a text of encouragement, sharing a useful resource, or simply being present for someone who needs to talk. These small gestures add up over time and contribute to a broader sense of purpose and connection. Ultimately, creating a lifestyle of service isn't about perfection. It's about consistency. It's about showing up, even when it's hard, and making the conscious choice to be a source of light in someone else's life. Over time, this practice not only benefits others, but also brings clarity, peace, and unexpected solutions to your own challenges. When you engage in helping others as a solution to your own problems, you tap into a spiritual force far greater than yourself. Problem-solving through service isn't just a practical approach. It's a deeply spiritual one that connects you with a higher power, whether you call it God, the universe, or something else. This connection amplifies the impact of your efforts and brings a sense of peace and purpose that transcends the immediate challenges you face. At its core, helping others is an act of faith. It requires you to step outside of your own needs and trust that by doing good for others, good will come back to you. This principle is echoed in spiritual texts and philosophies across cultures. In the Bible, the concept of sowing and reaping is often mentioned, suggesting that what you give to others will return to you multiplied. Similarly, many Eastern philosophies emphasize the importance of karma, the idea that positive actions bring positive results. The role of prayer and meditation in amplifying the effectiveness of service cannot be overstated. These spiritual practices help align your intentions with the greater good, allowing you to act from a place of clarity and peace rather than fear or desperation. When you pray or meditate before helping someone, you're not just offering them assistance, you're inviting a higher power to work through you. This alignment makes your actions more impactful and often leads to unexpected solutions for your own problems. Consider the story of a man who, after losing his job, was feeling lost and unsure of his next steps. Instead of dwelling on his unemployment, he began volunteering at a local shelter. He prayed each day before going to the shelter, asking for guidance and the strength to serve. Over time, not only did he find a new sense of purpose through his volunteer work, but he also met someone at the shelter who connected him to a new job opportunity. This spiritual connection, through both prayer and service, helped him find a solution to his problem in a way he never could have imagined. Spiritual breakthroughs often come through acts of kindness. When you step outside of your own problems and focus on serving others, you create space for the divine to intervene in your life. Sometimes, the solutions to your challenges come in the form of unexpected opportunities, new relationships, or even a shift in your own mindset. By helping others, you open yourself up to receiving guidance and support from a higher power. This spiritual aspect of problem solving also helps you let go of the need for immediate results. When you're aligned with a higher purpose, you trust that the timing of solutions is in the hands of something greater than yourself. You no longer feel the pressure to control every outcome, which allows you to act with a sense of peace and confidence. The stories of spiritual breakthroughs that come through service are countless. From people finding their life's purpose through helping others, to individuals experiencing miraculous turnarounds in their personal lives after giving selflessly, the power of spiritual connection in problem solving is undeniable. It reminds us that we are not alone in our struggles, and that when we help others, we activate a force far greater than ourselves. When you make a habit of helping others, you begin to plant seeds of kindness, generosity, and compassion that will eventually grow into a harvest of blessings. The results of these seeds often show up in unexpected ways, and sometimes they take longer than you might hope, but they always return. The principle of what you give, you receive is not just a comforting idea. It's a universal law that governs much of how the world works. The harvest from the seeds you've sown may not always look the way you expect. It might come in the form of a new job, a healed relationship, or an unexpected opportunity. Or it might show up as personal growth, inner peace, or a new perspective on life. The key is to recognize and celebrate these blessings when they arrive, no matter how they manifest. One of the most powerful aspects of sowing seeds into others' lives is that the harvest is often multiplied. You may help someone in a small way, offering advice, lending a hand, or providing emotional support, and later find that the good you did for them has come back to you many times over. For example, a woman who regularly donated a small amount of money to a friend's struggling business was later offered a partnership in that same business when it flourished. Her small act of kindness grew into an opportunity that changed her life. It's important to remember that the seeds you sow today may not bear fruit immediately. There may be a waiting period during which you continue to give without seeing any visible results. But rest assured, the universe is always keeping track of the good you do, and in time, your harvest will come. It may arrive in ways you never expected, but it will come. Recognizing and celebrating the blessings that come from sowing into others' lives is an essential part of the process. Too often, we overlook the good that has come into our lives because we're focused on what hasn't yet materialized. Taking the time to reflect on the ways in which your acts of service have come back to you can provide a deeper sense of gratitude and fulfillment. The stories of harvests reaped long after acts of service were performed are inspiring. There are countless examples of people who gave selflessly, not expecting anything in return, only to later receive opportunities, blessings, and solutions that far exceeded their expectations. These stories remind us that when we help others, we are not only making the world a better place, but also setting ourselves up for future success. One of the most profound truths about helping others is that the rewards often extend far beyond the immediate satisfaction of assisting someone in need. When you selflessly focus on others, the universe has a way of bringing unexpected blessings into your life. While it's natural to hope that your efforts will solve your own problems, the rewards of helping others often manifest in ways that are far greater than anything you could have anticipated. Often, helping others leads to new opportunities, relationships, and personal growth. When you serve others, you open yourself up to possibilities that might never have crossed your path otherwise. For instance, lending a hand to a friend in their business might introduce you to new contacts, open doors to a career opportunity, or spark a new passion you hadn't considered. These rewards come not because you're seeking them, but because the act of giving creates positive energy that attracts these things into your life. Helping others also leads to the development of new relationships. In your service, you're often exposed to people from different walks of life, people you might not have met otherwise. These relationships can bring unexpected joy, support, and even collaboration opportunities. For example, volunteering at a local organization might introduce you to someone who shares your passions and who, down the road, becomes a close friend or business partner. The relationships formed through service are often stronger and deeper because they are built on a foundation of shared values and mutual respect. In addition to external rewards, helping others fosters significant personal growth. Service pushes you out of your comfort zone and challenges you to develop new skills, perspectives, and emotional resilience. You may learn to communicate better, become more empathetic, or develop patience in ways you never thought possible. In fact, many people find that through helping others, they discover strengths and abilities within themselves they didn't know they had. This personal growth can be just as valuable, if not more so, than the solutions you were originally seeking for your own problems. Stories of people whose lives were dramatically changed by helping others abound. Take, for example, the story of a woman who, while dealing with the grief of losing a child, started volunteering at a grief counseling center. Not only did she help others process their pain, but over time, she found healing herself. Through this work, she met individuals who helped her launch a non-profit organization that now supports families dealing with loss. What began as an effort to serve others during her own hardship turned into a lifelong mission that gave her life deeper meaning and purpose. The unexpected rewards of helping others remind us that the universe operates on a principle of abundance. When you give freely, without expectation of return, you create a flow of positive energy that naturally brings good things back to you. These rewards might not always look like the solution you envisioned, but they are often far more valuable and life-changing than you could have imagined. While helping others can be incredibly rewarding, it's not without its challenges. One of the most difficult aspects of service is maintaining motivation and resilience when your own problems feel unresolved. It can be frustrating to pour time, energy, and resources into helping others only to feel like your own situation remains stuck. This is a common challenge for those who embrace a lifestyle of service, but there are strategies for staying the course and finding strength even when the results take time. Burnout is a real risk when you're giving so much of yourself to others. It's easy to become emotionally, mentally, and even physically exhausted, especially if you feel like your own life isn't moving forward as you hoped. To prevent burnout, it's important to set boundaries and take care of yourself. Helping others doesn't mean neglecting your own needs. In fact, you'll be able to serve more effectively if you prioritize your well-being. Make time for rest, reflection, and activities that replenish your energy. Remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. Another challenge in helping others is staying patient when results take time. The rewards of service are often delayed, and it can feel discouraging to continue giving without seeing immediate benefits in your own life. However, it's important to trust the process and remember that the seeds you're planting through your service will grow in their own time. Just because you don't see the results right away doesn't mean they aren't coming. Keeping a long-term perspective and staying focused on the bigger picture can help you stay motivated. Strategies for maintaining resilience in service include focusing on the small wins. While the ultimate breakthrough may still be on the horizon, there are often small positive changes that happen along the way. Perhaps someone you helped expresses deep gratitude, or you see them make progress in their own journey. These moments, though seemingly small, are reminders that your efforts are making a difference. Celebrating these small wins can help you stay motivated and avoid feeling overwhelmed by the bigger challenges. It's also helpful to remind yourself of the deeper purpose behind your service. When you connect with the why of your actions, whether it's to make the world a better place, to live according to your values, or to grow spiritually, you can find renewed energy and focus. Remembering that your service is part of something bigger than yourself can provide the strength you need to keep going. Real-world examples of resilience in service are plentiful. One man, for instance, spent years volunteering at a youth center, even while dealing with the stress of unemployment. Though his personal challenges remained unresolved for a long time, he found purpose and fulfillment in mentoring the young people he worked with. Eventually, one of the center's board members offered him a job, which led to a new career he never would have found otherwise. His perseverance in service, despite his own hardships, ultimately led to a breakthrough he hadn't anticipated. For many people, the journey of helping others while waiting for their own breakthrough can feel long and uncertain. But the beauty of this process is that, eventually, the breakthrough does come, and often in the most unexpected ways. Staying patient, trusting the process, and continuing to serve others creates the perfect environment for your own solutions to manifest. One of the key lessons in this chapter is that breakthroughs often come when you least expect them. After months or even years of giving without seeing immediate results, you might start to feel discouraged. But it's important to remember that progress is often happening behind the scenes, even if you can't see it. Just because the breakthrough hasn't appeared yet doesn't mean it isn't on its way. In many cases, there are signs that indicate your situation is about to turn around. You might start to notice synchronicities, small coincidences that seem to point you in the right direction. Perhaps you receive an unexpected phone call from someone who can help, or you stumble upon a resource that provides the answer you've been seeking. These signs are often subtle at first, but they can be powerful indicators that your breakthrough is near. The stories of sudden, unexpected breakthroughs are some of the most inspiring. Consider the case of a woman who had been volunteering at a local shelter for years while struggling with her own financial difficulties. She continued to serve faithfully despite her challenges. One day, she was approached by a donor who had noticed her dedication and offered to fund a program she had dreamed of starting. That single act of generosity not only solved her financial problems, but also allowed her to expand her impact on the community. Her breakthrough came after years of quietly helping others, and it arrived in a way she never expected. Another example is a man who spent years mentoring young people at his church while dealing with personal struggles. His breakthrough came in the form of a new business opportunity that aligned perfectly with his passion for helping others. He hadn't been actively looking for a business venture, but his consistent service had positioned him to be in the right place at the right time. When the breakthrough finally comes, it often brings more than just the solution to your immediate problem. It can open up new paths, relationships, and opportunities that you never anticipated. This is the beauty of helping others. It expands your world in ways you couldn't have predicted. As you continue to help others, remember that your breakthrough is not just a possibility, it's an inevitability. The seeds you've sown through your service are growing, and in time, they will bear fruit. Stay patient, trust the process, and keep your heart open to the unexpected blessings that are on their way. Gratitude is a key ingredient in any journey of problem-solving, especially when the focus is on serving others. While helping others, it's easy to become so caught up in the process that you forget to step back and appreciate the opportunity you've been given. But gratitude is much more than just a feel-good practice. It has the power to amplify the blessings you receive and to open new doors of opportunity. Gratitude shifts your perspective. When you start to see challenges as opportunities to grow, and when you're thankful for the chance to help others, even in your own time of need, you unlock a flow of abundance. By focusing on what you have rather than what you lack, you naturally align yourself with more positive outcomes. This mindset attracts more opportunities, more solutions, and more blessings into your life. When you express gratitude for the opportunity to serve, it shifts your energy and creates a magnetic effect. Gratitude is like fuel for the soul. It gives you the strength to continue when things get tough, and the motivation to keep serving others, even when it feels like your own problems are piling up. Gratitude also sends a signal to the universe that you're ready to receive more blessings. It's a form of trust that shows you believe good things are on the way. Consider the role that gratitude plays in amplifying the positive effects of helping others. When you serve with a grateful heart, the energy you put out is more powerful and transformative. People are drawn to those who radiate gratitude, and they're more likely to respond positively to your efforts. Whether you're volunteering your time, offering a kind word, or supporting someone through a difficult time, doing it with gratitude enhances the impact of your actions. Gratitude also helps you stay resilient during challenging times. When you focus on what you're thankful for, it becomes easier to navigate setbacks and frustrations. You begin to see challenges as temporary obstacles rather than permanent roadblocks. Gratitude helps you maintain the belief that solutions will come, even if they aren't immediately visible. There are several practical gratitude exercises that can help you stay thankful and energized, especially during difficult times. One simple but powerful exercise is keeping a gratitude journal. Each day, write down 3 things you're grateful for, even if they seem small. This practice trains your mind to look for the positive in every situation. Another exercise is to express gratitude to others. Take time to thank the people in your life who have helped you, whether it's a co-worker, a family member, or even a stranger. Expressing gratitude outwardly not only strengthens your relationships, but also reinforces your own feelings of thankfulness. You can also practice gratitude through visualization. Imagine your life as if everything you desire has already come true, and then give thanks for it. This not only aligns you with the energy of abundance, but also helps you maintain a positive mindset as you work toward your goals. Ultimately, gratitude is one of the most powerful tools in your problem-solving toolbox. It creates a positive feedback loop. The more you give thanks, the more you receive to be thankful for. As you continue to serve others, let gratitude be your guide, knowing that it will help you stay energized, focused, and open to the blessings that are sure to come. As you come to the end of this journey, it's time to reflect on how you can adopt a long-term mindset of service. Living a life focused on solving others' problems isn't just a short-term strategy for overcoming your own challenges. It's a way of life that leads to a lifetime of blessings. The beauty of this approach is that it's self-sustaining. When you make a habit of helping others, the positive energy you generate continues to flow back to you in unexpected ways. Every act of kindness, every moment of service, is like planting a seed that will grow and multiply over time. While the initial motivation might be to solve your own problems, the rewards extend far beyond that. You begin to experience a deeper sense of purpose, fulfillment, and joy. Living a life of service creates a ripple effect that impacts not only your own life, but also the lives of those around you. When you help others, you inspire them to do the same. Your acts of kindness become a model for others, and before long, the positive impact spreads throughout your community, your workplace, and even the world. The legacy you leave is one of generosity, compassion, and love. One of the most profound benefits of living a life focused on solving others' problems is the legacy it creates. Your actions today have the power to shape the future for generations to come. When you invest in others, you're not just helping them in the present moment. you're contributing to a larger movement of kindness and service that will endure long after you're gone. The seeds you plant through your service will continue to grow, even after you're no longer around to tend them. As you adopt this mindset, it's important to remain open to the opportunities that present themselves. Every day brings new chances to be a blessing, whether it's offering a helping hand to a coworker, supporting a friend in need, or volunteering in your community. By consistently seeking out these opportunities, you create a life that is rich in meaning and purpose. The key to sustaining this lifestyle is to approach service with the right mindset. It's not about sacrificing yourself or neglecting your own needs. It's about finding balance. By helping others, you're also helping yourself. The more you give, the more you receive, and the more your own life is enriched. This is not a one-sided transaction, but a beautiful exchange of energy that benefits everyone involved. As you continue on your journey, remember that the problems you face will be solved along the way. You don't need to obsess over finding solutions or worry about how everything will work out. Trust that by focusing on others, the universe will take care of your needs in return. The breakthroughs you're seeking are on their way, and they will arrive when you least expect them. In the meantime, keep serving, keep giving, keep being a blessing to those around you. Know that every time you help someone else, you're also helping yourself. You're setting miracles in motion, creating opportunities, and opening doors that you didn't even know existed. And as you do, you'll find that the secret to solving your own problems lies not in focusing on them, but in focusing on others. This is the path to a life filled with abundance, joy, and lasting fulfillment.